In the past few years, a very few young NBA players have managed to impress as many people as Ja Morant. This 22-year-old was first drafted into the NBA in 2019 and has already made his way into an all-star team. As one of the most acclaimed players today, it's safe to say that Morant has an extremely bright future ahead of him. And who knows, he might go down in history as one of the all-time greats one day. Most athletes would be lucky to get as much attention as him, but Morant isn't like most athletes. That's why in this video, we'll delve into his remarkable rise to success. We'll take a closer look at his early childhood, how he started playing basketball, and how he became a household name in the NBA. So without further ado, let's begin. Ja Morant was born on August 10, 1999, in Dalzell, South Carolina, a small town with a population of around 2,500 people. Clearly, Ja wasn't born into a basketball royalty family like LaMelo Ball did, and yet basketball was sort of in his blood from the get-go. Believe it or not, there was a time when his father, T. Morant, was on track to become a successful NBA player himself. Not only was he a high school teammate of Ray Allen, he was also a talented basketball player himself and played basketball for Claflin University, even playing semi-professionally after graduating. At one point, T considered playing pro ball overseas, but when his wife became pregnant with Ja, he set aside his own NBA dreams and started working as a barber to support his new family. Most people would agree, everything worked out for the best for the Morant family in the end. When Ja was a kid, he spent hours playing ball with his father, who taught him step-back jump shots and bought tractor tires for him to practice jumping with a soft landing. In fact, his father ended up creating an entire basketball training course in their backyard. Who knows? Perhaps he wanted to live vicariously through his son. Still, they made memories, bonded together, and ultimately set the stage for Ja's future success in life. Because of the incredible support and training he received from his father, Ja regularly faced off against opponents on the court that were often twice his size, but he was never worried. This level of confidence is reflected in his plays to this day.
Your dad was your first hater.
He used to call me overrated or say I didn't do anything or I wasn't good enough. I realized what he was doing. He was just preparing me for crowds or people saying bad things about me. And like I said, he was my hater before I had some. So if I can take it from him, I can take it from anybody.
Eventually, when Ja entered high school, he joined the Crestwood High basketball team in Sumter, South Carolina. Morant left as its all-time leading scorer with 1,679 points and scored a career-high 47 points against Sumter High School. In his last 2 seasons at Crestwood, he averaged 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists per game, earning South Carolina's Class 3A All-State honors both years. Morant also left high school as a 3-time All-Region Most Valuable Player. Surprisingly, despite all the skills he showed playing basketball in high school, not many colleges were interested in him. In fact, he only received one offer, from the University of South Carolina. In a serendipitous turn of events, Morant ended up being accidentally discovered by a coach from Murray State University, who was attending some basketball training at the University of South Carolina to meet with a different player that was supposed to join his team. While looking for a snack, this coach noticed Morant playing a 3-on-3 game in an auxiliary gym and immediately recognized his potential. As a result, Morant was invited over to dinner at Matt McMahon's house, who was the head coach of the Murray State basketball team. Eventually, McMahon offered Morant a scholarship, which he accepted, becoming officially a part of a major college basketball team. On November 10, 2017, Morant debuted for Murray State with 7 points and a team-high 11 assists. In a 118-61 victory over Brezhnev University of the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. Just a month later, playing against Eastern Illinois, he made a triple-double by scoring 11 points, 10 rebounds, and 14 assists, becoming the first Murray State player to do so since Isaac Miles in 1984. As a sophomore, Morant turned into the star player for his team at Murray State, and all of the attention was now directed towards him. Murray State was a mid-major school, which don't usually produce high-profile players. Yet during the 2018-2019 college basketball season, Morant was predicted as a #1 pick by various basketball journalists. No player from a mid-major college had ever been among the top 5 NBA draft picks since Michael Aloakandi in 1998. Overall, during the season, Ja Morant was on another level. He had an average of 24.5 points, 10 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. These stats were absolutely incredible. And at this point, Morant announced his intention to forego his final 2 seasons of collegiate eligibility and declare for the 2019 NBA draft instead.
In the 2019 NBA draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Ja Morant from Murray State University.
Morant was drafted 2nd overall during the 2019 NBA draft by the Memphis Grizzlies.
From being the guy that was forgotten and then discovered in an auxiliary gym to the #2 overall pick.
It feels good to be able to accomplish my dream, and I'm just very excited.
On July 2nd, 2019, he signed a 2-year contract worth over $17 million with them.
Hey, man, praise God. Praise God. He worked hard for it.
The Memphis Grizzlies took the next step towards ushering in a new era when they selected him. On October 23, 2019, Morant made his NBA debut, starting in a 101-120 loss to the Miami Heat, with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and a block. On November 13th, he recorded his first career double-double with 23 points and 11 assists, and hit a game-winning layup in a 117-115 victory over the Charlotte Hornets. On February 9, 2020, he recorded his first career triple-double in a 106-99 win over the Washington Wizards. In the 2019-20 season, Morant led all rookies in assists with an average of 17.8 points per game, with 1,138 total points scored. This was only his first year in the NBA, and he was posting numbers like that? Needless to say, a lot of people were excited about the prospect of this young player, who, by the way, was only 20.
Man, it's a blessing. Definitely an honor. I put a lot of work in, day in, day out.
At the end of the season, he was eventually named the 2020 NBA Rookie of the Year. That same year, he also earned the NBA All-Rookie First Team honor.
This journey, it's been rough, but, at the end, it's all, paying off.
Imagine that he went from being snubbed by every major college in America to being named Rookie of the Year.
As far as me, I'm never satisfied. So, I try to work on everything, go to that next level.
Needless to say, the Memphis Grizzlies decided to keep Morant for the 2020-21 season. He played his first game of the season on December 23, 2020, against the San Antonio Spurs.
Ja going straight to the rack, reverses it up, and in! Oh, what a play!
The Grizzlies lost, but if there was anyone that won during that game, it was Morant himself.
And I'll tell you what, Morant is just... You hear me?
Wow.
He scored a massive career high of 47 points, higher than anything he had achieved in high school or college. He also made 9 assists and 2 rebounds, and ultimately, he made the fans in the area of both teams go absolutely wild. On January 18, 2021, he would score his first double-double of the season in a game against the Phoenix Suns, making 10 assists and scoring 17 points, beating the Suns in the process. In the very next game, he would go on to score another double-double in a game against the San Antonio Spurs, scoring 19 points and making 11 assists. He would follow this off by a few more double-doubles. And on February 17th, in a game against the Oklahoma City Thunder, Morant would go on to score his first triple-double of the season, with 15 points, 12 assists, and 11 rebounds. It seemed like there was no stopping him.
Nice find to Morant.
What is incredible about this season is how much he improved the more he played. The Memphis Grizzlies would eventually make the playoffs that season, and Ja Morant playing a huge role in making that possible. The Grizzlies would win their first game of the playoffs against the Utah Jazz, with Morant scoring 26 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. That said, the Grizzlies ended up losing that match, and later they would lose 3 more, being kicked out of the tournament. The biggest reason many watch the Grizzlies, and the biggest reason for their astonishing ascent, is obviously Ja Morant. Overall, by the end of the season, Morant averaged around 19.1 points per game, 7.3 assists, and 4 rebounds. Throughout the season, he also scored 14 double-doubles and 1 triple-double. Ironically, he didn't win the Most Improved Player of the Year award in 2021 because his stats in the previous season were already great. But he, without a doubt, cemented himself as an amazing player. The 2021-2022 season was upon us, and it was time for Ja Morant to keep the momentum going. In his first 2 years as an NBA player, he had improved season after season, game after game, and with his 3rd season approaching, he had to prove himself once again if he wanted a massive contract in the summer of 2022. Morant is now no longer a rookie. He's a major player, competing among only the best that the NBA has to offer. He's the team's crown jewel, the rare superstar who feels like a franchise player in talent, temperament, and aura all at once. He started this season off on a high note, scoring 37 points in a winning effort against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Just 4 days later, he scored 40 points against the LA Lakers.
Avery Bradley with the deflection against Bang. Oh, Morant! What an incredible block!
On January 26, Morant would score over 30 points for 7 consecutive games. In his last 10 matches as of March 3, 2022, Ja Morant has scored over 30 points per game. This includes a game against the San Antonio Spurs on February 28, in which he scored a career record of 52 points, along with 2 assists and 7 rebounds. In the current season so far, Ja Morant has averaged around 27.8 points per game, along with 5.8 rebounds, which is the highest in his career so far. But we should also note that his average assists per games have gone down considerably, averaging around 6.6 per game, compared to 7.7 the year prior. Because of his undeniable skills on the court, Ja Morant was named as one of the starters for the 2022 NBA All-Star Game for the Western Conference.
And so now another first-timer at the tender age of 22, Ja Morant.
Even though he could have also made the team last year, it's still pretty incredible for him to become an All-Star at the age of only 22. Away from the court, Morant is also a father. His first child, Kari Jaden Morant, a daughter, was born in 2019, back when Morant was only 20.
And a special guest, we saw that you were getting a little practice in before the game tonight. How'd that go?
Trying to breed a hooper, man. Put the ball in her hands early. She a little shy now with camera and everybody around, but this is my baby, my motivation right here, and only right to make history on a night she's here to watch me. So
Morant was the first member of the 2019 draft class to secure a shoe deal with Nike. He made the announcement ahead of the draft on social media. All my life, my parents worked for a check. Now I'm proud to say I work for the check. His favorite player in the NBA right now is Russell Westbrook, with whom he is often compared to.
Russ has 5 of the 7 Laker turnovers, and Russ scores.
Much like Morant, Russell Westbrook was overlooked by pretty much everyone in the basketball world at first. But despite all that, he went on to become a 9-time NBA All-Star.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Scoring triple-doubles sort of became his specialty, and it sort of is becoming for Ja Morant as well. It's going to be interesting to see where Ja Morant is going to go from here. Overall, he has improved so much over the course of the past 3 years that he really has a chance of becoming a timeless icon. Memphis is one of America's great cities, a bastion of culture and history, and Morant levels of charisma. For much of their existence, the Grizzlies have been something like the opposite, a relocated expansion franchise with a nonsensical name and a grand total of 1 conference finals appearance on its resume. Ja Morant and his teammates are bringing a world-class basketball squad to a world-class city, and no one deserves each other more.